Hi, so today I'm going to be making some cupcakes for Colin's ninth birthday. I can't believe he's going to be 9. It's insane. I just think about that little baby that I brought home from the hospital. He was 5 pounds, 3 ounces. He was like this tiny little thing. I mean, he's still pretty tiny, but we used to say that he was tiny and mighty. He's having his birthday party this weekend. So I'm going to just whip up some cupcakes for him and his friends. I'm going to use a box mix because quite honestly, I am strapped for time this weekend and that's what he asked for. So I said, okay, fine. So I'm going to make chocolate, vanilla, and then I think what I'm going to do, since he's not really having a huge party and I don't need like 50 cupcakes, I'm going to make some cupcakes and then also make a big cake. And what I'll do is I'll use that to make like cake pops or cake pucks or whatever, but I'll freeze that so I can use that at a later time. So I already have the chocolate cupcakes in the oven and all I have to do is the vanilla. So I am going to be using, oh, where's the box? The yellow cake mix. All it needs is 3 eggs, a third of a cup of oil, and a cup of water. So I'm just going to whip that up. I also have a sourdough in the oven, which was a lot of fun. I took a sourdough making class last week, and that was a lot of fun. The girl that taught it was so sweet. She had so much knowledge. She's been baking sourdough for quite some time now, so she had some great tips and tricks. And quite honestly, I was so anxious going into it because, you read all these things online and you see all these people making these beautiful sourdoughs, and I'm just like, man, yeah, feed this thing. You got it. It sounds so like tricky and technical, but she broke it down and it was so easy. And she gave us her number. So she's like, if you have any questions, just shoot me a text. And she said that the starter that she provided us with, she says, is very mature. So she's like, it would take a lot to kill it. So, me, I'm like, challenge accepted. But so far it's living and it's fine. So I'm baking a sourdough today, and that's the first bread I'm baking kind of like on my own without her instructions. So we'll see how that goes. Let's see. Okay, that's the chocolate cupcakes. Those are done. I got the vanilla one going here. Colin said he really liked chocolate. So what I was I was just going to bake one box. I was just going to do vanilla cupcakes and then decorate them either with chocolate frosting or vanilla frosting. And then I got these little rock candies. I got rock candies like the traditional kinds, the crystallized sugar ones. And then I got these little chocolates that look like rocks because we're going rock climbing. So I was going to just decorate them all differently, but when he said that he really wanted chocolate, I was like, well, not everybody likes chocolate cupcakes, so I better make both. Because you can't make the birthday boy have to kind of concede to what everybody else wants on his birthday. It's his day. All right, so this batter's all mixed up. I'm going to go grab that cupcake tin, get those cupcakes out and get them cooled so that I can decorate them tonight. He's actually got a birthday party that he has to go to tonight for his best friend. So after school, it's going to be kind of a mad rush to get dinner done and get him to the party, get him back, and then his party's tomorrow. So it's going to be a busy night. So we're going to pop those cupcakes out of the oven, get these ones in, and get them cooled in time so that I can decorate them after work today. Okay, so I usually do about a 1/4 cup of batter per cupcake. He wanted these cute little polka dotted liners. I usually get like a big pack, it's like 300 liners from Amazon, and they come in all different patterns. So that's the one that he chose because he said they look kind of like rocks. And I'm like, you know what? You're right. They do kind of look like little rocks. Fun rocks, right? I took Gianna to the store yesterday because she wanted to get Colin a gift with her own money. So I took her to the store yesterday and she picked out a gift for him. It was actually a really good gift, quite honestly. We got there like half an hour before the store was set to close, and she went in knowing she had seen something there. I don't know how long ago it was, but she had seen this stuffed animal there a while ago that she really wanted to get him. And when we went yesterday, they didn't have it. So we had to kind of figure out something else to buy for him. So she looked around. She got a little distracted because, you know, I mean, kid in a toy store, right? But she did good. She picked out something that he can play with outside. She actually got him like a light up frisbee, which is kind of cool because they like to go to the park and throw around the frisbee. Maybe one day we'll let them go out when it's a little darker out so that they can utilize the light feature. And then she also got him like a little stuffed animal. They like those little Beanie Babies. They're like little, they're not like the ones that we had when we were growing up. They're like little balls. So she got him one of those and thought it was really sweet. And then she got herself a keychain and they wrapped it for her. So she got to pick out the wrapping paper and they wrapped it for her for free. And the wrapping paper actually looks kind of like these cupcake liners. So she'll be like excited to see that. They match. It's so funny with like birthday parties and kids these days. It's like, I remember growing up and we used to have our party at the house and our friends would just come over and we'd play. And, you know, most of the time, I mean, I remember one birthday cake in particular my mom had. My dance teacher at the time, she would make cakes. I mean, she was amazing. She would make our costumes, she would make cakes, she would make everything. But anyways, she made me one of those Barbie cakes that had the Barbie in it, and then the cake was the dress. But I remember back in those days, it was just like, you know, your mom made cupcakes and your friends came over and you just played. Now it's like birthday parties can get so expensive. So when Colin said, Mom, I just want you to make me some cupcakes, I was like, yes, you got it, kid. Normally we order our cake and our cupcakes from this really awesome local bakery, but I mean, it does get quite expensive, so this was perfect. And then for our family birthday party, he says that he wants a Oreo Blizzard cake from Dairy Queen, and I said that's perfectly fine. Birthday boy gets the cake that he wants. He's also pretty chill. He wants to have, we started just having like our family, like our parents come over to celebrate the kids, because when they go to these places, it's like, you know, they're just kind of standing there. They're not really getting to interact with the kids. So this way we have our parents come over and they celebrate. So it's like kind of some nice time that they get to spend with the kids for their birthday, because I mean, both sets of grandparents are super involved. My in-laws, they watch the kids when they get off the bus during the week from school. And then like my parents live like less than a mile down the road. So we walk over there all the time. And so they're constantly involved with the kids. So it's nice for them, you know, so it's kind of nice for them to be able to come over and celebrate the kids, like one-on-one, get that quality time. So Colin wants to have a barbecue. So we're going to do that. Pretty simple. But anyways, I'm going to pop this cake and those cupcakes in the oven, and I'll bring you back when it's time to decorate. Well, there's nothing like waiting until about 3 hours before the birthday party to frost all these cupcakes. We ended up getting back a little bit late last night and I was a little tired, so I didn't frost these last night. So I'm gonna frost them today. Got my cupcakes and I save the container that our cupcakes came in beforehand, so this is like easy to carry. Got my cupcakes. these are the little rocks that I was telling you about, the chocolate rocks. So they're kind of cool. Like they look like actual rocks, and Colin says that he really enjoys them. And then I've got my rock candy. So we'll decorate these. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to do 6, 7, 8, probably like 8 cupcakes with vanilla frosting and 8 cupcakes with chocolate frosting, and let them pick. So I've already got my frosting in a bag here, and I have these like fancy frosting tips. Honestly, I think these kids are just going to be happy with frosting of any kind. And I think I'm just going to pipe it so that it's just like little spikes, and then I'll put the rocks in them. I think that might be the easiest way to do this. So let me get some of these going, and then I'll kind of, this might take a while. And I am by no means a professional cake decorator. It's also a little muggy where we are right now, so I'm really hoping that this frosting doesn't like slip and slide all over the place. That's part of the reason why I didn't do it last night. I actually had some of that cold brew that we had made, and as tired as I was awake until like 1 o'clock in the morning and was contemplating decorating these, but since the house was so like humid and muggy, I was like, let's not do that. So I think that they're just going to kind of look like this. Just going to do little dots here. This might use kind of a lot of frosting, but like I said, kids just want sugar. I really want to learn how to decorate cakes and cupcakes really pretty. It's one of those little things, one of those little skills that I feel like it's always nice to have. I feel like at least this design is pretty easy. It just looks a little bit better than just slapping on the frosting and spreading it around. And like I said, I put the cupcakes into the container first, so this way I don't have to worry about smudging anything when I take it out to put it in this container. And like I said, I kind of just save and like wash out all of the containers that I get when we order cupcakes. This way I don't have to spend money on a fancy cupcake carrier. This works just the same. And I think I only have one of these, so I have a little box here with the rest of the cupcakes, because I think I'm going to be bringing 19 or 20 cupcakes. I think I miscalculated when I baked the cupcakes in the little papers. So these papers don't match the ones that Colin had wanted. So when he got up this morning, he's like, oh, they don't make the cut. So those will not be going with us. That's okay. So we'll have more cupcakes than we actually need anyways. As long as every kid gets a cupcake, I'm good. And every kid will. I think that there's going to be enough for every kid to get like 2 cupcakes if they want. I would imagine bakers' hands are like crampy at the end of the day, because even this, I mean, I'm not even doing anything fancy, and this is hurting my hands. Okay. So I'm going to do a couple with vanilla frosting and then a couple with chocolate frosting. So let me finish doing the vanilla and I'll bring you back. All right, so all of these cupcakes are frosted, and this is kind of what they're looking like right now. So now I'm honestly just going to put some of these rock candies on there. I had bought like some really cool like food tweezers to kind of like gently place stuff. but for some reason I cannot find them. So this is how we're gonna do it. So I think we're gonna get some of these cute little rocks and we're just gonna stick them right in there. Oops. Honestly, having like the piping bag and stuff makes it so much easier to get this frosting on there. Looks really cool. Okay. Just gonna stick these on there. And like I said, these are chocolates, so I thought that was pretty cool. They do look like rocks. Let's see. I'm trying to put one of each color on there, but you know what? Some might not have. This is a huge one. I think Colin's going to want to eat that, so I'm going to set that one aside. Rocks on here. I think these are so cool. Like when I had looked for them and I ordered them, and Colin's like, "Oh yeah, I've had those before." So like that's pretty cool. They're all going pretty nuts this morning. Excited. Colin's excited for his birthday party. He wants to open some gifts today, even though his actual birthday isn't until tomorrow, but that's fine. He's really excited to open the gift that Gianna bought for him. Okay. There we go. Okay. And then I'll do like some over here. My little side box over here. Like, I honestly don't know why I waited until the last minute to do this. Normally, I'm very organized and I'm on top of things and I'm not scrambling at the last minute, but it was such a busy week, so especially with work. I just didn't have time to do any of this stuff. Kind of snuck up on me. Okay. All right, so I've got those, and now I'm going to do some with this cool crystallized rock candy. I'm kind of curious to see which ones the kids are going to be more excited about. I have a feeling they're going to want this rock candy just because it's colorful, but who knows? I mean, a group of little boys together. There's some girls, but I feel like the girls might want the pretty ones and the boys might want the ones that look a little bit more rugged. I'm also kind of hoping that these rock candies, like the color doesn't kind of bleed out, because like I said, it is pretty humid today. I mean, at least the good thing is party's in like 2.5 hours, so it's not a lot of time. Maybe I'll put these in my basement where it's a little bit cooler. Honestly, and this worked out so well because it was actually kind of fun to do, despite me being a little stressed out from having to do all of this stuff in like one day. I think if like I didn't have so much going on yesterday, it would have been fine, but yesterday was a really busy day and I couldn't take any breaks at work because it was our month end, so it's kind of hard to take time off during those days because we've got a lot of things that we just need to kind of get done. Put another chocolate on this one. There we go. So I'm going to wash my hands and then I'm going to show you guys what they look like. Okay, so here we go. We've got the finished cupcakes. I think the kids are really going to enjoy these, and whatever they don't eat, guess what? We are going to eat.